Good morning and good afternoon, all, and welcome to today's webinar. This will be Palintest Knowledge Session, where we'll be covering about our products and our markets, which will be a refresher for those who are in the market and are offering Palintest solutions that help customers to test water quality. This session will probably last 30-40 minutes, and in this session, Joe and myself, we will be taking you through our product range, how they help our customers and users across. We did a session in the morning earlier in the day where we got attendees from the European region. Today, now we have the second session in the evening, which we'll be covering for the Americas region. So feel free to drop in your question and answers in the chat function. There is a chat function on your Teams on the top. Feel free to drop any questions as we go through this session. My name is Shaurya and I'm head of product management, and I lead the product development, understanding the customer pains and passing that to develop new products. And I'm going to pass over to Joe, who will introduce himself and then start covering about our markets.
Excellent. Thank you, Shaurya. Thank you for the introduction. And yeah, so my name is Joe Johnston, and I'm the lead business development manager here in the United States. And I'm enjoying taking the opportunity at this point to run through some of the things that you are aware of, and the products and services that we can support, as well as some of the new things that both Shaurya and our product development team in the UK has been working on for a long time, and so I'm looking forward to releasing these. Sure, you want to? There we go. Yep. So real quickly here, we want to go through the agenda items. So we're going to discuss the key markets served. We're also going to discuss the product overview and updates. This is where the updates will come in. And of course, a couple of case studies, both here in the United States and then overseas as well. So as you all know, our purpose is we exist to safeguard water for everyone every day. This isn't something that we simply hang on a plaque and touch as we walk into work. This is something that we truly believe in, and from a cultural ethos perspective, put our money behind. And we are very much committed, both in, as you'll see, both in the utility and public water treatment, but also humanitarian efforts and working with non-governmental organizations. So the key markets that we serve are, as you see, drinking and wastewater, which many of you are familiar with, and it's something that's kind of one of our basic fundamental marketplaces. But we also work within recreational water, industrial water, and humanitarian. So recreational water, we actually started here in the United States back in 1992, and it is actually one of our first and fundamental marketplaces that we support. And you know, any of our distributors that are on the call now, they also have access to not only provide products and services within drinking and wastewater that may be more common, but also into the recreational water, industrial water, and even a little bit less so on the humanitarian side. And we'll drill down on the industrial water and what that actually means in the preceding and the following slides. So perfect, thank you. Yeah, drinking water and wastewater. So we have a couple of different types of end users within this classification. We have the treatment plant, so you're very familiar about walking into a U.S. publicly owned municipal water system and seeing all of the water testing equipment strewn across the landscape there at the laboratories. We are right at home with them. And Shaurya will discuss the features and benefits of ours versus others, but we have on-screen instructions making testing easier. We also have those same on-screen instructions which reduce the employee training to reduce the variability of results. For those people that are network operators or they do remote distribution, like in our wells and whatnot, we have a series of handheld instruments which do a great job with chlorine and chlorine dioxide, ozone, etc. So we'll discuss that as well. Also, sampling teams, lead and copper is a very, very big and growing issue right now. And of course, as many of you know, the Kemio instrument has the only EPA approved methodology in a portable instrument that is approved for testing lead in water samples. And we are getting more and more into that as the years go on because the timelines are coming due, and these schools and daycares require significant water sampling. And so this is a specific area that we have a competitive advantage in drinking water and wastewater. Commercial and recreation water, this is kind of broken down into two things. So we have municipal pools and gyms, which is we're all familiar with that. They have a specific requirement, and those in our products, just like some of the other ones that you may be familiar, have an intuitive interface and on-screen instructions. So when you have a high turnover in these municipal pools and gyms with your employees, the interface can assist you in making sure, again, that you have consistency of protocol and results. Hotel chains and water parks is something that we are very engaged in. Here in Texas, we have a number of large water parks and theme parks and Six Flags over Texas, etc. So our instrumentation, again, very portable, very reliable, can be used in these environments. And of course, you have the service technicians that support hotel chains, water parks, municipal pools, and gyms. And the robustness and the IP67 rated qualification that we have allows our instrumentations to be carried from point to point for these service technicians without the worry of dislocating something or having to recalibrate. It's a very sturdy kit that it comes in, and it is the instrument itself are rated for travel. So industrial water is another a vertical market that we are very good in. Food and beverage, specifically when it comes to post-wash harvesting, such as you see here, a lot of food and vegetables, fruits and vegetables cleaning. It can either be done from chlorine, or some people are using parasitic acid for this. Kemio is a great environment for food and beverage because not only does it produce quick results that are quickly repeatable, but it also works in turbid water, and you have a lot of turbidity in this food and beverage. And if you were trying to use a photometric method in this, you would be hard pressed to get quality and repeatable results in food and beverage in there. Industrial manufacturing, again, I live in Texas, so I have a lot of industries around me, Dow and DuPont and whatnot. All of those industrial and power generation facilities, they all have some type of water system. Steam is used to cool, water is used in steam to cool that down, but then that now needs to be disposed of, and they are critically testing their water before they are releasing that back into the environment. And again, the ruggedness with which our instruments are created and the simplicity that they are intended to have is an ideal environment for industrial manufacturing. And then finally, you may not think about this, but there's a critical water need in testing in hospitals and healthcare facilities. And so we have Kemios in this situation as well. So whereas many of us may think of water testing being mainly the purview of simply water utilities, we also see here that industrial water is a good avenue for a lot of our instrumentations to be used in. And then finally, humanitarian. This speaks to our our purpose and our mission. We have not only our instruments that we're using on the ground to identify chlorine and chlorine dioxide or lead, but we also have instruments that are specifically constructed to deal with humanitarian crisis. For example, I was working very closely with an organization that set up mobile medical treatment facilities during the Haitian Civil War, and we were able to get them equipment to support their literally life-saving efforts there. So we have emergency response. We have partnerships with UNICEF and Oxfam for developments in Africa and Asia, and then all of these have the same regulatory and government bodies that they actually, that they can report to these regulatory bodies the results of their testing. And Shuria, you're the product guide. I'll hand it off to you.
Thank you, Joe. That was a really fantastic overview of the various applications where water testing products are used. Now, I will be covering what these products are and where they are used, how they are used, what's the benefit in using them in the specific scenarios. Then we're gonna look at some specific case studies wherein we'll bring these examples to life of how these products are protecting the water quality. So on the screen here, you are seeing all the product categories offered by Palintest. And we will go into each of these product categories. But before we jump in, I would highlight some of the common principles that bring these portfolio together. Firstly, like all of them, they are portable water testing equipment, which means as a user, it can be carried in the back of a van, or it can be kept on a table in an industrial facility, municipal facility, or even a recreational facility. Secondly, all of these products have been designed keeping our users in mind, making them as simple as possible, which means an operator doing many different tasks a day, they are able to simply carry out a test, get accurate results, and then they can make informed decisions on water quality based on that. So you see here photometers. These are the class of instruments which work on the principle of light measurement. We add a reagent to the water sample, and then you will be measuring the color change using photometers. And this will give you the concentration of your analyte. These are used widely across municipal, industrial, and recreational facilities. The next class of instruments you have is turbidity meters. This one is our latest addition to our range. We launched earlier in the year in the European markets, and we soon have update for the US region as well, where we are undergoing an EPA approval. These instruments measure the cloudiness of the water sample. So you'll be measuring light at 90 degrees to get a reading on the turbidity of water. The next class of instrument really popular across the Americas region is the electrochemical instrument called Kemio. It employs the sensor technology, which uses the measurement of current and voltage to check what's in the water. And it makes the traditional water test simpler, safer, and faster. The fourth category is the portable lab kits, which is the VACTEC range, which provide the microbiological testing mainly for the non-governmental organization, as Joe was mentioning, in parts of Africa and Asia. Now, the fifth one here is not a physical product. It's a software, Palintest Connect, which again, we will share some updates regarding this software platform, how you can use the data that has been tested from Palintest products on a piece of software so that you can monitor trends over time. And then we have a visual category wherein you are testing the color change, but visually comparing it against a chart. And in some application, you're wanting to have approximate reading, that's where these kits are used. So variety of products going in different areas and applications. Now we will jump into the specifics of these products and also share you some updates that are coming on these product lines.
Sure. Do you mind if I jump in real quick here to get some flavor text to
Of course,
this? Yeah, so
of course.
on the preceding slide, I just wanted to share with everybody that this turbidity expert, we have this, and I want to be real clear about this. We have this for. Could you try again? Sorry, my Siri just popped up. Um, the turbidity meter that we absolutely have for sale now. It is the uh, the European version. It has an ISO certification. We are in the process of working with the EPA to get EPA approval for that instrument. Fingers crossed, we're hoping to get that around sometime late summer this year. Um, Excuse me. We are looking to get that approved in late summer this year. But if you have applications that are not required, don't require a regulatory reportability, certainly this turbidity meter is a game changer for anything out there, and sure we'll go into exactly why that is. But just to be clear that we do have the turbidity meter available at this point. It does use a different technology because the UK version uses infrared light and the US requirement is for white light. So there are going to be two different instruments when the US version comes around. But again, those are out there. And I also wanted to just jump in on this portable lab kits. This is the WAG Tech line. And so these things that if you're not familiar with are interesting, reach out to myself or any of the salespeople that you know, and they can actually test for fecal coliform and total coliforms in there, as well as your simple chlorine or mercury or whatever else that is that you may be looking for. They are, as you can see, they are packed there in a kit or kits, depending on your version, that are made to be transported in rugged conditions. I just want to flavor text that for you, Shurier.
Thank you. Thank you, Joe. Here, when we are talking about the portability of our instruments, you can see that real in action, some of our customers and teams using these products. And we have a few examples here. I will touch upon one on the extreme right, which is from Bangladesh, which has a serious problem of arsenic in groundwater. And the methods they were using previously, they were taking a long time and they were hazardous in nature. And with the Kemio technology, we made developed a arsenic sensor, which reduced the test time by 90%, removed the toxicity of the test, made it much more simpler, which means you can go out and in a single day you could cover more sites and actually impact the community, especially the school children. So you see live over there the testing happening in a school setting itself, which shows the power of Kemio because sometimes the users would be sending the samples to lab and waiting for a result for 2 weeks. And that's one of the benefits of using the Kemio technology. You get the immediate results there in the field itself. Right, I will jump on to Kemio. If you are already familiar with this product or you distribute this product, please do a thumbs up so we know you are there. And I will talk through like why Kemio is used, where it is used, and some of the benefits. So Kemio, as we discussed, it uses the measurement of current. We employ it to make the traditional test much simpler, much safer, and more reliable. So whenever we see a gap in the photometric or the traditional test out in the market where users have a challenge, we consider it as a potential test on Kemio. Hence, we are really selective of what goes on Kemio. We wouldn't provide 100 parameters on Kemio, but the ones that we do provide, that's because there is an existing need for that. An example being, as Joe mentioned, the lead test, which compared to lab, it makes it much more faster. Another example we have is the chlorine dioxide and chloride testing, which on amperometric titration would take 2 hours, and on Kemio you could reduce it down to 5 minutes. The one of the USP that Kemio brings is that results are not impacted by turbidity or color in water, which means the water can be dirty, but still you are able to get the right readings. And a use case would be salad washing, wherein the water is really dirty and you want to test chlorine in it, wherein Kemio is the tool of choice for the salad washers. Joe, anything to add over there?
No, I think you're exactly right.
Moving on, I'm also glad to share some updates on the Kemio platform. We will be launching two new parameters to the Kemio range, which are monochloramine and ammonia sensors. Our teams have been working really hard for the last year to get these products out into the market. And we are at the very final stage where we are building our stocks before we can go live into the market. Here on the left, you have examples of the customer trials which we have been doing. And this was myself in Italy, and we were testing some municipalities and healthcare facilities which use monochloramine as a disinfectant. This test will make the current method much more shorter and less number of steps, making it much more easier. It will not be dependent on pH and temperature, which again removes some of the error in the test, not impacted by dirty water, and again really reliable when it comes to using out in the field. And whether it's your distribution system where you are testing, or it's the drinking water point, or the healthcare facility which is using it for secondary disinfection, this will be the tool of choice for the users. And we will touch upon how the GPS connectivity, which is also going to come on the software platform, will enhance the value of the Kemio technology. One thing I'll say is that if you are a user already of Kemio, then it will be a simple software upgrade, which means you don't have to buy any new products. It will be just the new sensors with a firmware upgrade that will add the capability to, to have these two parameters on your Kemio. All right, so that was the overview of Kemio technology. Now we have a Lumiso Expert, which is our multi-parameter photometer, and this employs the photometric technology, which is a really popular technology across the market. Many other offerings out there. Where we differentiate ourselves is the design of this. As you can see, it comes with a touchscreen. On the touchscreen itself, all the 70 tests, 70 plus tests, they will have a user instruction manual on the screen itself, which means as an operator, as a user, you can be sure that you are performing the test correctly. Because there are nuances with each test of how much time it takes, what reagent to use, and all of that is stored in the instrument itself. You can data tag your results, which means you can monitor across various processes and different sites and get a understanding of what's happening across, because then you can transfer this data to your software platform, Palintest Connect. And this is an instrument designed to last in the field. It's IP67. It is IK08, impact proof, drop proof, and the check standards on it would last 5 years, which gives the users a huge advantage in terms of checking the reliability of the instrument.
I want to reach out to our friends out there in the audience and ask, we've discussed Kemio, and many of you are familiar with that, both on the heavy metals and the disinfection side, and some of you are familiar with the Lumiso Expert, our photometer. Is there anything that's out there? And just throw this in the chat if you'd like. Is there anything out there that would be of benefit to you or your customers to have on either the Lumiso or have on the Kemio. We're always looking for new product ideas and innovation. So as you go through this, if you see something, don't hesitate to share that with us, because we will take that in and see if that's something that's scientifically achievable.
Absolutely. If there's a parameter which is currently challenging to test, we would love to hear that. Feel free to drop in the chat. Moving on, we will cover the Lumiso handheld, which are single parameter photometer. Although they use the same optical engine as the Lumiso Expert, so the way they test the optics, the heart of the instrument, is exactly the same. But these are designed to test a single parameter, which is a use case in various applications. Lumiso chlorine being popular in the drinking water side, and Lumiso ammonia being popular on the wastewater side. And you can see the various ranges highlighted below. Now we have a similar offering in the pool or the recreational application as well, wherein the photometers, they have been designed to work on the pool chemistry and test the various parameters that are across pools and spas that you see. The principles behind the instrument are the same. We make it intuitive so that even when there's a high turnover of lifeguards or the users in the recreational facility, it's easier to train them on how to perform the test. They are rugged and they can survive the wear and tear of the day-to-day use, and you can transfer the data on Connect. Likewise, we have a handheld range on the pool instrument as well. And here you can see the pool test 3, which tests 3 parameters, and pool test 6, which tests 6 parameters. Both of these are really popular in the US and Canada region. I'm also excited to share that we soon will be having an addition to the range, which will be an instrument with much more parameters than the pool test 6. So stay tuned for that, because that will be coming very soon in a matter of months, and within this year it will be going live. So you shall hear from us on that very soon.
Yeah, and just to add to that, I'm very excited for us to be bringing back the Pool Test 9. And for those of you that are not familiar with our Pool Test products, Shuri has it laid out here nicely, where you have Pool Test 3, obviously 3 tests for Pool Test 3, and 6 for the Pool Test 6. The main difference, correct me if I'm wrong, but that's as I understand it, Shuri, is that the pool test 3 was really ideal for, as it says, outdoor pools there, but also those people who are just looking for a quick spot check of their pool, right? Of what they're doing for themselves. Pool managers and municipalities require different reporting and different knowledge of just for more than just chlorine, pH, and cyanuric acid, which is why we have the pool test 6, which includes total alkalinity, calcium hardness, and bromine, all of which are important in a larger, more commercial style pool. So if you're unfamiliar with those, I'm happy to, or any of your salespeople that you're currently working with are happy to break that down further. But therein lies the delineation between those two particular products.
Yeah, absolutely. Thank you, Joe. I'll move on to the turbidity expert. As Joe highlighted, we are already live with the ISO version, which is very well received in the UK and Europe market. Many of the water companies have started to use it to test turbidity in water, which is a regulated parameter. Couple of unique features that we have focused on here is the replaceable optics. We see it as a challenge in the market where the optics get dirty over time out in the field, and this will impact the turbidity readings. In normal cases, the instrument would have to come back for servicing or repair, which means the users is left without an instrument and the downtime. So we now have developed the replaceable optic, which means you can always carry a spare optical port, which can be replaced out in the field in the matter of minutes. So you can ensure the testing continuity while you're out there. And we have also kept it keeping users in mind that the calibration of the instrument, it is really easy because it's one of the only instrument which can be calibrated in the field by the users itself. So it's really crucial to be done properly, and we ensure with our on-screen instructions and the settings that it provides that it's really clear. We will also have Wi-Fi on this instrument, which ensures the real-time monitoring of your test results, and you can ensure that you can make informed decision based on the results you get. We are really looking forward to bringing the EPA version as well. If you are already interested in this parameter, we are looking to do some demos, so feel free to drop your name in the chat and we'll reach back to you.
Yeah, and folks, I really am excited about this turbidity expert here. You know, a lot of what Shuri and I have said is about the ruggedness and the field worthiness of our instrumentation, but you know, I will put this instrument on against anything else that's a turbidity meter out there in a lab, but taking it out to the fields, oil and gas type of things, or those things like that, it really performs. And we did, you know, Shuri had mentioned the replaceable optics chamber, which is really a game changer. And you can't maybe see this from your perspective, but I can tell you from experience that all there is a little set screw that's just right behind that hinge, and all you simply need to do is remove that set screw out and place the brand new optical chamber in, and that is the as a resolution versus having multiple units, increased cost for your customers, and or downtime associated with that. So this thing lives and breathes in the field, and it lives and breathes in the, you know, in the outside environment as well. If you have opportunities to introduce customers to this, it's going to be something that's going to make you look like a superstar for sure.
Great. All right, so we covered the various instruments that allow users to test water quality, whether in a lab setting or a field setting. But equally important is that after the result has been carried out, the test has been carried out, what happens with the result? It's one thing to write the result on a piece of paper and manage your process via that, but it's another to actually see trends over time using graphs, which is where Palintest Connect comes in a really powerful tool, because all the results that you have been carrying out, they come in form of a trend monitoring. You can make graphs and charts, as you can see here in the background, but also we have the ability to add GPS coordinates to the test results. Very useful if you are out in the field and you want to trace where the test was done, or make a heat map of a particular locality, river, or a neighborhood, or various sites you have across the organization. So in all those cases, this is really valuable tool. I have an example here. When I was in Cambridge last week on a customer visit, I did a test and then I took the picture right there and then of where we took the sample from. And you can see right there is the latitude, longitude displayed on Google Maps. So this is the future that we are heading towards. Again, this will be live very soon, and we shall keep you posted on the updates.
And remind me again, Shuri, what instruments will the GPS functionality be on?
This will be covered on all the instruments that we have covered so far, including Kemio, Lumiso Expert, the handheld Lumisos, and the pool range of Lumisos.
Excellent, thank you. And also
And
remember,
Turbidity
folks,
Expert
and
as
Turbidity
well.
Expert. And also remember, folks, that all of the instruments that we have also talked about also have, or will have, if they don't already have it, have the ability to generate a QR code. And as far as remote supervision and feasibility, all you simply need to do is, if you are working with Palintest Connect, so, already, that's great. If you're not, then I would encourage you to do so. Another feature of Palintest Connect is that we do have the Palintest Connect app. And all you would need to do whenever you're in the field is get that QR code and scan it with your Palintest Connect app, and then those results instantaneously get beamed to the Palintest Connect website. And so it's not only for a surety of control and chain of custody issue, but also for a remote monitoring point of view too. So these QR codes and these functionalities that we're building in to the products that many of you already own is only going to be a value add to your customers going down the road.
All right, Joe, I'll pass over to you now to take over the distributor revenue model.
Yep. So some of you have seen this. I see some of my friends here on the call today, and I thank you for joining me, all of you. And so all of you are familiar kind of with our business model. If you have other colleagues that are interested in coming aboard as part of a distributor, we certainly encourage them. But all of you know that we have a consumable uh, 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 business model of a lifetime reagent. So even though we will sell X number of instruments per year, as long as we keep our customers engaged with those instruments, you're going to see exponential growth with respect to the reagents ordered to make sure those instruments or continue to operate. So it's a business model that I'm fully confident. I've seen that work on my end, and if anybody has any questions on that, certainly I'm here to support you and your own growth and growth of the colleagues that you may see fit to introduce us to.
Yes, and we absolutely believe that we would like to grow our partners, and this is where ensuring that they are able to keep the instrument like being in use over the long period. That's where it's really crucial, and to make sure the end user gets the best experience possible. So we want to be partners in that, and thank you for thank you for all the support we have.
And yeah, so here's our service and support offerings. As you hopefully know, with us, our support and service does not end with the sale. In fact, I firmly believe that support and service is crucially important to after the sale, and so to that end, we have technical support. I'm certainly here as a tier one here. I think I've seen my friend and colleague Jordan White jump on this call as well. She is tier two. She is our technical product specialist. If something that a mere salesman can't answer, the smarter one in the room certainly can. And if for some reason it's even befuddling her, then we also have an entire team of product development folks back in the UK that can support. So you have, many layers of support for any of the questions you may have. The Palintest Connect platform is great. It is a data management platform specifically built for our instruments, and I believe that we are simply going to expand its offerings within this one website. It's important to sign up for Palintest Connect when you get your instrument, because we do have a 12-month warranty on all products, and that warranty is extended once you register with Palintest Connect. So not only is it important from a features and benefits and getting all of the abilities out of our instruments, but also for your own safety and warranty purposes. Um, Full product of training and equipment. You know that as far as anyone that's on here, We continue to offer training as much as we are able to, and any equipment that you may need, any loaners or whatnot that may need for a customer, we're here to support as best we are able to. And from a marketing support, I have two of my marketing mavens here on this as well. Emma Brown has been a great help, and we have grown our visibility of Palintest and its capabilities tremendously over the past 2 years, and we're going to continue to do so. These webinars that we're hosting, we hope, is of value to our customers about all the different topics, and we're going to continue to do that and continue to put out marketing collateral that raises the visibility of Palintest, not only for our own benefit, but again, to grow our distribution partners. We want to make sure that we are known in the marketplace and we are a safe and reliable and secure company with whom to do business.
And if there are any knowledge areas where you would like to have webinars or further training, please feel free to drop in the chat function, and we would love to hear that and pick up with you. All right, so the final section of this presentation, and then we'll open up for Q&A. Please keep your questions ready, and we'll come to it very, very soon. So we have two examples here of how Palintest products actually safeguard the communities. And these products are used across the world in many countries, many applications. But today I wanted to bring two examples in front of you. One being how City of Abilene uses Kemio technology. And this was from a visit 2 years ago when I visited Abilene. This municipality is responsible for supplying water to 130,000 residents across. And they use chlorine dioxide as part of their disinfection process. And they have to report the levels couple of times a day to TCEQ and EPA. And that's where they have employed Kemio to get those transparent readings and continue to rely on the water quality results they have. When I asked them which method they were using before Kemio, what I found out was that they were using empirometric titration, which was taking 2 hours to perform a single test, which means over a span of day, they would be spending 4 to 6 hours doing the water analysis. And now with Kemio, it went down to 5 minutes per test, which means they can react more quickly if there are any issues, and they can keep the operations running much more effectively. So we appreciate this partnership, and we look to hear more stories. If you have any stories of how you are employing the Palintest products, please feel free to share to our team. And the second example I have here, after which I'll conclude, is from Kematis. It's a partner in Italy, and they work in the recreational water space, and they are very well established providing chemical products to the various swimming pools around Italy. And while supplying the chemical products, they also partnered with us, and they provide the pool testing equipment, which is our Palintest, our Lumiso pool range, to ensure that the pool sites they can ensure the water quality for the swimmers, and they can continue to stay operational. So we are really proud of how these products are actually being used to safeguard the communities across the world. And we always appreciate the support that you have had in the continued trust. I will now pause for Q&A. Me and Joe will pick up any questions that you have. Even if not today, we are always ears open for you. So feel free to reach out to the email addresses that you have here. There will be a recording sent out after this session. So for those of you who missed part of it, you can always refer back to it. And there are furthermore webinars coming later in the year, so please stay tuned to our updates. I'll now stop for the question and answers. Thank you.
Sure, yeah. I'm going to jump in here. I know I'm not afraid to do that from here and there, but I already know one of the questions that's percolating out there in the chat, and so do you. Do you want to go ahead and answer that?
Yeah, could you read out to me? Because I'm not able to see the chat function here. Yeah.
The question was, when do we expect the monochloramine and ammonia sensors to be released for widely distributed availability?
Perfect. So the sensors will be live in September from a sales perspective. However, we are actively carrying out trials. So which means if you have got customers on board actively looking for it, we shall provide you the trial sensors as we have got there. For some of the customers, I understand this is a really interesting parameter. So we look forward to hearing like any opportunities you have, and we shall support you with trial sensors until we have the sensor goes live in September.
Yeah, so
Yeah.
anybody that's on this call that have uh, customers that you know that could use this, simply reach out to me. I'm sure that if my email's on the screen there, you can capture that, or just simply call me or whatnot, and just let me know exactly the customer, uh, what their requirement would be, and etc. And then I will get with Sharia, and we'll get some sensors sent over from the UK, and we can start doing that. Presuming, of course, that they already have some type of Kemio in hand. So,
Mhm.
question two, Sharia, what is the
Yes.
warranty of our What is the warranty of our Palintest products?
Yes. So our Palintest products need to be registered on Palintest Connect to activate the warranty. This is a new policy that we are bringing to
Okay,
ensure that customers can register the product and activate the warranty. This will enable the first year warranty, and after the annual service, this will be extended to 2 years.
excellent. And speaking of Connect, how do we transfer data from Connect to how do we transfer data off of the Kemio or Lumiso or whatnot from the instrument to Connect itself?
Yes, there are multiple ways. The most commonly used is the QR code, which uses the phone app, and you can scan the QR which comes on the instrument screen. Another way is via USB. So when you have got access to computer, you can plug in the instrument and it sends the data over to cloud. And a new way that we soon will be launching would be the wireless connected to the Wi-Fi, wherein the instrument itself can connect to the Wi-Fi and transfer the data real time without you manually bring it to the computer. So multiple ways, but all with the same purpose to get your data onto the cloud so that you can view that seamlessly. That was a good
So,
question.
so Sharia, on the Wi-Fi, will our legacy products, the products that are already in the field, if we have a Wi-Fi option, is that available to them, or is that going to be on new products themselves?
So that will be a hardware plus a software update, which means only the new products will be able to have the Wi-Fi module and connect to the Wi-Fi. However,
Okay,
for the legacy instrument, they can still speak to connect using the QR code
okay,
and the USB.
excellent. Thank you very much. And we got another question from Mr. Bennett here. Do all the instruments need to be sent in once a year for recalibration slash maintenance? That's a great question, Tom.
That's a good question. So we always recommend the annual service because these instruments are used in critical applications where you are relying on the readings. And it has two purposes. So the first purpose is to ensure the longevity of your instrument. Think of it like your and car maintenance. You don't want it to break down before you come back to us and set it for repair. You wanted to proactively maintain and ensure the longevity. Second is to calibrate the instrument because the calibration does drift over time. And depending on the wear and tear and the use environment of the instrument, we would always recommend to have an annual service.
Excellent. Are there any cognizant of our time constraints? Looks like we have a few
Yes.
minutes left here. Does anybody have any other questions? So as a wrap up and as as you're thinking about this going forward, monochloramine and ammonia expected out this September. We have trials that are going on right now, so reach out to me or any one of your salespeople or account managers if you would like to get some trial sensors out there. We have some exciting product updates with the GPS capability coming not too far down the road, and in the meantime, as you go about and as you talk to customers and end users about this, if you hear something that they think this would be great to have and it's really difficult to test with current methodology, i.e. lead, i.e. chlorine dioxide and chloride, parasitic acid and washing facilities, if there's things that we can help improve both your ability to serve your customers and their ability to solve problems, simply let us know. We're always open for additional feedback and what are the next tests that we can put on our instruments.
All right, then we shall wrap up, and thank you for your time. We shall see you soon. Thank you.
Thanks everybody for your participation.